Hello everybody and welcome back to Newegg TV. I'm Steve and today I have somebody from Asus in the house. This is of course Nick. Nick, how's it going, man?
Great, how are you?
I'm very good. I was a little under the weather there for a minute and I heard you might be too, but I'm really glad you made it in. So.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Excited to be here and excited to take a look at what we have to show today.
Yeah, that's right. So we're talking about a new Asus Chromebook, right?
Yes, so I brought here our C200 Chromebook. So Asus, this is our first Chromebook.
Nice.
Some other manufacturers have had a couple generations now, so this is brand new from Asus. We're going to offer an 11-inch and a 13-inch, and here is the 11-inch, the C200.
Excellent, excellent. So very first run of Chromebook from Asus, that's awesome. I feel like we might need to say a little bit about Chromebooks just in case anyone out there actually doesn't know what a Chromebook is. So maybe you and I can kind of collaborate on that, but
sure.
Your definition of a Chromebook might be the same as mine. It's essentially just a Chrome OS-based or Linux-based operating system running on basically what would be considered either a notebook or a netbook, I should say, or a laptop hardware, and essentially just really fast, boots quickly, fairly inexpensive for what you're getting, and it's primarily used for web browsing, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, so I think Google built this to be, like you said, fast boot up times, affordable, be able to get everything that you need to get done. Maybe except for like those really power users that need those desktops or the really powerful laptops. So for everyone else,
you can install applications specifically for. I mean, this has
exactly.
apps, but yeah.
The apps that you'll install in this one will be Chrome apps as opposed to just regular desktop apps.
It's actually a really good point, Nick. So for anybody out there that might not know that, if you have Chrome, it also has its own app store. You can download and install those apps if you want to check it out. Kind of give you a little preview of what Chrome OS is like, except for the fact it's not an operating system. But if you wanted to know a little bit more about the Chrome web browser, it's going to work pretty similar to this.
Yeah, the web browser is essentially the same, and for those that are familiar maybe with the Android operating system on their phones, the Chrome Web Store is very similar to that. You'll go through, pick out the apps that you want, install them, and then they'll be available right in an app drawer right on the desktop.
That's fantastic. So I've heard one of the things people like to talk about when it comes to Chromebooks is whether or not it can be used offline, because primarily it's intended to be a web browser. Obviously you need the internet to do that, but also if I'm going to use this maybe to write emails or create Word documents or presentations or something like that, can I do that in some form of an offline mode in this?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, and that maybe also highlights maybe the constant change that Chrome OS has seen during its lifetime so far. So Google has the ability to basically just constantly update Chrome OS online through the web for you, right? So as people have been using it more and Google has been refining Chrome OS, they've added the ability to do offline Google Docs, right? So for Quick Office, you can do all of your productivity stuff offline now. And then even more recently for the Google Play Store, they've added maybe for movies, if you've purchased a movie and you're going to go on a plane ride where maybe there's no Wi-Fi, you can go ahead and download that file locally and then watch it where you don't have a connection.
That's fantastic. So basically Google Play allows you to download it directly to this particular laptop and then you can use it. I mean, I know the storage sizes kind of vary depending on the model you get, but you do have USB support here, so you could pop in a flash drive. You actually even have SD card support. We'll get into all that in just a moment, guys, but you do get more storage than what you start with, which is really important, I'd say.
Exactly. So I think as time has gone on, Google has made this even closer to a full-fledged laptop and give you the ability to somehow do all of the same tasks that you do but on this Chromebook.
Nice, and so I'll just reiterate that one more time, guys. If you're looking for a small portable device that you can use to get on the internet with and just specifically web browse, this is pretty much that solution for you. So family members, maybe even kids, because there's actually a supervised user mode that you can actually set up to have a little bit of parental controls over who's using it. So there's a lot of things built in here for maybe either first-time internet users or just people who only primarily want to use a web browser to peruse the net, watch video, YouTube videos, I should say, or upload stuff to your social network, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And you'd use your Gmail account. If you don't already have one, you can sign up for one for free.
I think that's probably one of the biggest selling points for anyone who's in the Google ecosystem at all already, Gmail or Android stores, is that literally when you pop this out of the box, you will sign into your Google account and everything will be synced up right off the bat.
Everything's
Email,
done.
the Google Now notifications, everything will be right there on your laptop too.
It's a really good point. So let's talk a little bit more about the Asus C200. So maybe hardware specs. What do we got inside of this thing?
Sure. I think the biggest thing is probably the processor, right? So on this latest generation of Chromebooks, some of them are coming with Intel's newest Bay Trail M processor. So that's basically fancy speak for their newest mobile processor that's not only quite powerful, but also very efficient in battery life.
Excellent. So what kind of battery life would you say we'd see with
on this 11-inch we have a battery life rated at 11 hours.
Okay.
So that is very much on the high end of the Chromebooks that are available.
Cool.
So you can get pretty much all day usage without having to recharge. So benefits from the Intel, you get the Intel processing power and you get the power savings where you get a really good amount of battery life.
That's fantastic. Actually, maybe we should just dive right into this while you're sort of looking at that.
Sure.
I can show them a little bit more. So what's some more of the specs while we take a closer look at the actual laptop
Some of the other hardware specs that you're more used to hearing, so for like a traditional laptop, RAM-wise, you're going to have 2 gigs of RAM on board. You're going to have 16 gigs of storage on board. The camera that you see up there on the front of the screen is a 720p camera, so you can go ahead and do all your Google Hangouts in HD quality.
Nice.
And then the Wi-Fi that's included is also 802.11ac Wi-Fi. So for those that...
The hardware's there for that.
Exactly. The hardware's there for that. For those that haven't maybe been acquainted with it, it's just the latest, newest Wi-Fi standard, faster than 802.11n. The one thing on the Chromebooks, though, is that the driver for Chrome OS for 802.11ac is not ready at the moment. It'll be coming in fall. So at the moment, you'll have 802.11n dual band, so you can connect to your 2.4 gigahertz network or your 5 gigahertz network. Nice.
So you have Wi-Fi connectivity, which you obviously need to have in order to be able to use a Chromebook. But on top of that, you guys have added AC hardware so that when Google does update their OS, which it's going to do automatically.
It'll be automatic, yeah.
It'll just, one day you'll just have AC connectivity. So keep an eye out in fall 2014 if you purchase one of these. Make sure that you have connectivity. So let's talk about the touchpad, because it actually looks fairly large. I'm gonna drag this laptop or this Chromebook slightly backwards so I can take a closer look at it. Wow, so that's fairly large. How big is that touchpad?
We have made the touchpad. That was one of the focuses on this one, was to make the touchpad the largest in its class. So we do have it rated at, I believe, 105 millimeters by 61 millimeters. Wow. So that kind of gives you the maximum, and you can kind of see on the design here that you really don't have much bezel on the top and the bottom of the touchpad. So for those of you that need more space or like more space to do all the little gesture controls, we think that'll help out.
Yeah, I noticed it's missing the button, so basically you're just going to click here on the touchpad and hold down, and then use the other finger to kind of, I guess, move up and down. I know you can double tap and then scroll. I guess it's this direction, because I'm trying to do it upside down.
Exactly. So, and then if you'd like, you can go into the Chrome settings too, right, and do what they call Australian scrolling. Where,
it's opposite,
where you're doing it opposite, yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, and then you swipe this way to go backwards, I believe, and swipe this way with both fingers to go forwards. There's a couple other cool things on the Chromebooks themselves for those little shortcuts. It's also fairly light, I'd say. I'm not sure if you know the weight off the top of your head, but
it is at 2.5 pounds, so it is a fairly light device. One of the other kind of hardware focuses that ASUS has had is what we've noticed on Chromebooks is the audio speakers. The stereo speakers are usually not so great to be able to play it maybe in a room, you want to play your music or a movie.
They're typically not that good.
So we have focused on the speakers, and they are rated up to 80 decibels, so you can play movies and music in pretty good.
You'll be able to hear them at the very least.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good, because my wife's always complaining about why she can't hear the movies when she's watching. I'm sure she'll be watching this later and complain about it as well. Well, maybe I should turn it around and show some of the I/O then. Yeah.
Let's go through some of the ports here that we have. So
start on the meteor side, I guess.
Yes. On the busy side here, we can see that the first one closest to the screen, we have the power input, right? So when you want to be charging. And then next to it, we have an HDMI 1.4 jack, so you can go ahead and output to a bigger screen or to a TV if you'd like.
Yeah, you can set it as the primary. I was sort of playing around with that with another set of Chromebooks that we have.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Hey, it just gives you another feature that you would expect in a laptop, also available in the Chromebook. Right?
And it can mirror too, and it matches the resolutions fairly well, I'd say. So,
exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Next, we have USB 3. So how we mentioned earlier that on top of the storage that's included, you also have other opportunities to add more storage or access to more storage. So we have the USB 3 port here on the side to give you that ultra-fast storage access and connectivity. Excellent. And then right next to it is the SD card reader. So you can go ahead and throw an SD card in or have a stack of SD cards if you really need that much space.
Right.
And go ahead and
maybe you want to upload to your Google Drive of all the pictures you just took and some trip you were at. I mean, this would be a really simple way to do it
exactly.
as well.
It definitely would.
Okay, and then it looks like we have the audio port. It's a combo port.
Yes, so combo port, so exactly like it sounds for those 3.5 millimeter jacks. You can go ahead and use either headphones or a mic.
Nice, yeah, okay, excellent. Tip ring sleeve style. Which direction we're going to spin around now? I'm
Let's go, I think, all the way to the other side. We will have a couple more ports. So we do have a USB 2.0 port there on the side, so you can have multiple USB devices attached if you'd like.
A mouse or
you can
something.
go ahead and throw a mouse on there, exactly. and then a little slot for a Kensington lock if you do need to lock this down.
Excellent. Yeah, and I'll just show you guys the front of it here just so you can see. It's just sort of the, I want to say gunmetal gray style color.
Yeah.
It's got Chrome logo up there, Asus in the middle. Yeah, it feels pretty standard. I flip around to the back and nothing much else here except for these rubberized feet, I'd say. I noticed screws, standard screws. If I crack this open, am I voiding my warranty, I'm guessing?
Yes,
Yeah,
so it does come with a 1-year warranty.
Okay.
So
don't want to lose that.
Usually don't want to lose that.
Hardware inside is pretty cool too. That's awesome. All right. So aside from the AC and everything else, I actually think I see a little box underneath this this table right here, and I'm imagining that that is something that you kind of want to tease about.
We do have a teaser, but we will be seeing more of this very shortly, right? Along with the Newegg crew here, we'll be going up to Colorado, and I think setting a world record. Maybe we shouldn't say much more than that.
Well, we could say that. I mean, Linus has been talking a lot about Highlander, and that is up in Colorado, and it's going to be an awesome little LAN party. But yes, the official laptops that will be used are the Asus. What is it? The G550.
Yep, this is the G550JK. So this is the first ROG 15-inch laptop in a little while. So
very cool.
We will be taking these up to the top of the mountain and having a LAN party.
Oh man, that's going to be awesome.
And you can stay tuned for a video kind of showing more of the detailed specs and features of this one coming soon.
Very, very cool. Well, all right, we hope to hear more back from Kyle and Paul from how that's going to go, because I'm sure it's going to be really funny watching them go up this mountain and have some fun on some games. So, all right, guys, I think that's probably going to wrap up this video.
Cool.
Nick, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks,
really
Steve, as always.
It's always fun to have you in here with all these awesome toys. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Newegg. And until then, we'll see you guys very soon.